Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitidamine, Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravadi Pracharine, Nirvisesa Sunyavadi, Paschata Desatarine, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Girim Yatrupadamam Vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Hare Krishna. So in this chapter on divisions of faith, Krishna is explaining about the different types of foods in different modes, and we have seen about goodness and passion, and today's verse actually talks about the food in the mode of ignorance, which is very important because we will see why. Okay, let us see. Yatayamam gata rasam
Yatayamam gatarasam
puti paryushitam chayat
puti paryusam chayat. Yeah.
tam api chamedhyam
Uchistam apichadyam
bhojanam tamasam priyam.
pujanam tamasam priyam.
So,
Yatayaman gatarasam puti purikasat sitam chayat uchistam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam.
Yatayamam gatarasam poti paryushitam chayet uchistam api chametyam bhojanam tamasa priyam.
okay, translation and purport. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Purport. The purpose of food is to increase duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. This is its only purpose. In past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. Those foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Rice, wheat, fruits, vegetables. Some other foods, such as baked corn, molasses, while not very palatable in themselves, can be made pleasant with when mixed with milk or other food. They are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. Fatty foods, as mentioned in the 8th verse, have no connection with animal fat obtained by slaughter. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in the form of which rules out any need of killing innocent creatures. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Okay, foods in the mode of passion which are bitter, too salty, or too hot, or overly mixed with pepper cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. Food in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to Lord, is considered to be in mode of good darkness. Because they are decomposing, such foods give bad odor, which often attracts people in this mood, and plus repulses those in the mood of goodness. Remnants of food may be eaten only when they are part of meal that was first offered to Supreme Lord or first eaten by saintly people, especially the spiritual master. Otherwise, the remnants of food are considered to be in the mode of darkness and they increase infection or disease. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mood of darkness, are neither liked or even touched by those in the mood of goodness. The best food is the remnants of food, what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Of course, devotion and love are the chief things which are supreme, which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts. But it is also mentioned that prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. Any food prepared by injunctions of scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of God can be taken even if prepared long ago, because such food is transcendental. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is mode of darkness or ignorance. So if we see these properties of this food, like decomposed, putrid, remnants, untouchable things, tasteless, so then we can understand what is the culture that we have in current state, right? How many foods like this we eat? Because we are nowadays very less fresh foods, right? So mostly the foods are the foods is not fresh. It's like maybe packed food, packed drinks, or with chemicals and mixed with so many things, and that is what we eat. And this food is not actually fresh, but whatever we can say, the situation makes us to eat this, or we don't have any option, or we have to survive. That's why we eat. But these foods are mode of ignorance, because of which our consciousness also goes down. So means sometimes we eat chips, packed chips, nuts, and sometimes people have to take frozen vegetables, frozen pizzas. So many things are there. But these things are actually not mode of passion or goodness. They are in ignorance, because they are meant for that, to be eaten after long time. So generally, we should have food which is freshly prepared, offered to Lord, and eat freshly. So in the old times also, the food that was eaten once in the daytime, evening will be fresh cooking. They used to cook new food. It's not like that the afternoon, same thing we will eat in the evening. No, evening will be fresh cooking, and whatever remains in the night, next day it will be given to animals that were like the pets, like cows and dogs they have in their house. So people used to eat always the fresh food and milk products. That's way, that how they were healthy. And that is the mode of goodness. So becoming healthy is one of the purpose, but having mode of goodness is more important, because by that mode of goodness, actually we proceed towards spiritual consciousness. So when we eat the food that is in mode of ignorance, at least we should be conscious that we are eating this food, and it may affect us, it may impact us in our consciousness. So sometimes there are no options available, or we have to adjust to the situations. So like now in say war, like what's happening in Russia and anything, like it's no option, like people have to eat like that. Or when the earthquake was there in Japan, and people had no option, they had to eat the food that was not fresh. So in that sense, it's okay. But as far as possible, we should try to have fresh things. so that our consciousness also remains fresh. And that actually helps us to do the spiritual progress, because the aim of the life is to grow spiritually, right? So best thing Srila Prabhupada mentioned is to eat the food that is offered to Krishna. So if you have to go out somewhere, okay, and there you have to eat, so I want to go picnic, okay, I cook food, I offer it to Krishna, and then I take it, and then I can eat it anytime, because then it has been converted to transcendental or spiritual food, and that can be eaten later at any time. So that's how in previous old times also people used to manage their eating habits. So these three verses actually provide us a background or some hints how and which food we should eat and when to eat, what not to eat. So I hope this is helpful for everyone, and we can apply this in our life to keep our consciousness at pure state. So next Krishna will talk about different sacrifices in different modes. So we'll see that tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So any comments, any additions anybody would like to add? This is very generic topic. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow with the next verse about the sacrifices. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.